election. They must work, right? Hopefully he wasn't thrown.
Okay, so real
was
quick, I'm not
absolute-
sure what the disagreement on whether or not he was thrown is for. I don't know if
I don't
this
understand
matters
either.
to
And
the-
if it takes 3
to the argument
officers
much,
to
but
detain this,
Yeah, see now Tom Fuller trying to sweep for Wick. It's because Wick tried to lie. All right, so here we go. Marte Reyes takes on the demented Wick. The demented Wick, the guy who encouraged people to oppose and obstruct ICE officers. You have a moral obligation. The man with the soyest voice known to man, Wick, takes on Marte on ICE. And Tom Foolery, who is supposed to be a moderator here, he's supposed to be the unbiased mod. Well, doesn't really do a good job of being unbiased. And my opinion, it looks like he helps out Wick a lot more. But maybe I tuned in at a bad time. Who knows? Maybe I just saw a small portion of it, or maybe I wasn't paying enough attention. So we could all judge together. Let's see Marte versus Wick on ICE is bad under Trump.
tweets. I can send them to Tom.
no, I
Fuller
don't
to
want
pull up
tweets.
if you'd like.
hold on,
I don't want tweets,
wait,
I want
wait, hold
facts.
on. Marte, hold on, wait, Marte, what of
Immediately, I started the video, and immediately Tom Foolery coming down on Marte. Immediately.
what he stated when you're asking for sources? What is it of what he said? What is it that you would like him to source?
Okay, I don't want like tweet because anybody can just put up a tweet. I want like fact-finding outcomes. Like, let's say that there was an investigation, and I want from like the Department of Justice, some bureau, basically stating that, hey, you know what, it went through these proper channels, and yeah, in fact, ICE was lying about this. Not a
So you
tweet
want-
from a random 16-year-old or anything like that.
Okay, I'm not talking. I'm talking about would a tweet from DHS Gov be okay?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Department of
DHS.gov.
Homeland Security.
He said sure.
Oh, okay. Here's the one where they lie about Alex Preddy, and I'll just DM it to you.
Well, yeah, Marte didn't mind the moderating, but Marte agreed that it was a 2v1. He said, yes, it was a 2v1, but I didn't mind it. I could take it because Marte has experience in a 2v1 debate. I mean, he recently had on my channel where he took on Minar and Mr. Workademics. So that's what he meant when he said he didn't mind the moderating. Marte didn't say that it wasn't biased. He agreed, Tom, it was a 2v1. He was just saying that he could handle it, which he did.
Give it a second. Hold on, let me bring up my Discord.
So, Wick, I'll even ask you a question. If ICE didn't exist,
There.
who would apprehend the PDF aisles and extradite
INS.
them out of the country?
The ICE is a relatively new organization. It was founded in 2003.
That
The
doesn't
people who
answer
did
the
it
question.
before were the
If
INS.
ICE didn't exist,
That's who
who
would do it
this
again.
duty?
Hold on, Clinton deported 12.5 million people. They were pretty fucking effective.
He said INS.
INS.
So, okay, so you think that we should replace ICE with INS?
At this point, yeah.
Okay, so let's say we eliminate ICE. Let's say
do you
we
want me to
eliminate
read
ICE.
See, I don't know. I think Tom Foolery doesn't know what a mod's supposed to do. He talks too much. He's supposed to sit there until like okay, like if they get in a circular argument where they kind of just keep going in circles, then he could step in and be like, okay, guys, listen, I can see this is going circular. How about we start talking about this and then move it along? Or if they're shouting over each other where you can't understand what's going on, then he steps in and goes, okay, guys, just calm down. Let's, Wick, answer the question, or Marte answer the question. But it seems like he steps in way too much.
The tweet from DHS.
That's up to him. He wanted a source on what the DHS was saying. I gave him one.
Yeah, let's go. Go ahead. Show me the source.
Okay. All right. So the
You
tweet
just share your screen
says,
so we can all.
Yeah. Or if they ask the mod, hey, bring up something on the screen, then you bring up something on the screen.
Read it, right? If you want.
okay. Go ahead and make your argument, Marte. It'll take me a second to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so
to
when
pull
you're
that up.
talking about like net negative, I'm still looking for a totality here, not some sparse cases that you're bringing up. Because the whole reason why I asked if ICE was off the board, you said NIS would be doing this, right? Now, if
Yeah.
ICE is now that ICE is doing this, they're ramping up. these deportations and quite successful at this. And we're doing targeted investigations. That's being done. And I think that that's a great thing. You haven't disproved that. Actually, you conceded that point to me when you're saying, okay, because of maybe what 7 cases where it's fraught with rife with abuse, maybe in 7 cases, this isn't one state. This is 7 in totality that you brought up, maybe. And I'm being generous and charitable by saying 7 cases in the whole totality of the United States where ICE operates, because they operate in just jurisdiction Florida to California and everywhere in the northern hemisphere. That in the totality, they're a net negative. I haven't seen a strong case where I'm seeing where ICE should be taken off the map because they're net negative yet.
Okay, I just sent Tom Foolery a report from who is it, Senator Ossoff, of over 1,000 cases, and this is just in Trump's first term, like first year, 2025, right? This is just 2025, 2026, because January, right? And this is just in detention centers. That's
Okay,
over
let's
1,000.
touch on this
Is
one.
that enough?
Yeah,
First,
that
you guys have
doesn't
you guys
say
have the
anything
share
to your
screen up?
point.
What do you
Do
mean?
you
it
guys have
doesn't say-
the share screen up? Hold on, wait. Let's do one thing at a time. Do you guys have the share screen up?
I do. Go ahead.
Marte?
Share screen. Yeah, I mean, I see the Homeland Security thing, but this post doesn't say that they lied.
Okay, so
This
hold
is
on.
the
So
lie.
it says so it says this is from Homeland Security. This is their account. It has 2.9 million
Okay.
followers. It says at 9:05 a.m. CT, as DHS law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted operation in Minneapolis against an illegal alien wanted for violent assault, an individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun, seen here. The officers
so first of
attempted
all,
to disarm the
Okay, can
suspect.
we pause on that one?
Mm-hmm.
That is deceptive, right? In the video,
Wait, I'm
he
still
had
waiting
his
for
gun
where
holstered
does
the
it
entire
say
time.
that they confess that they themselves lied?
Yeah,
Okay.
what real quick, what is the claim of the lie in this?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Before
waiting
we-
to see the claim of the
Okay,
lie.
there's several. That is the first dishonest thing.
Okay, can you
on.
demonstrate how that's dishonest?
Yes, we can bring up the Preddy video and we can look if he ever brandished his weapon.
This doesn't say anything
Marte,
about
do you
people
agree
lying.
that when they say that it doesn't say, he's saying the post is the lie. So
Yes,
here
that's
it
the
says
lie.
an individual.
Yeah, see? Keith, for $5, Wick would fight ICE by throwing a magic potion at them. That dude definitely does LARPing, yes. Be gone, ICE. Be gone, out of here. Oh, my eyes. Oh, the pepper spray. Totally. Thank you very much, Keith, for the $5.
Approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. So do you agree that when they say he approached with a gun, that this seems as though this is something that they were taking into account at the time when he approached, or does it sound like he just had one somewhere on his body?
You do understand the context of what they're saying right here, and that we can delete.
Yeah, he didn't say that he was brandishing it. He said an individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun, which is true. He did have a handgun on him. He did approach with a handgun. It didn't say anything that he was brandishing it or that he was pointing it at the officers. He didn't say any of that. It's just saying that he had a gun on him, which he did. Vic, the Long Beach Mayor roast was the best. So thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed.
Well, I'm asking you a question about that part real quick, because
If
that's
if
part of
I'm a
his
two-way
claim.
carrying citizen and I'm holstered, I'm still approaching you with a gun, am I not?
Sure, but is that the
Right.
Yeah,
implication?
so when
is
I
that it's
approach, hold
holstered?
on.
Right. Oh
this
shit!
may
Now
help.
you're
When I
stretching limits of
approach
credulity
someone,
here.
I'm
Wait, hold on. Let me go back.
Still approaching you with a gun, am I not?
Sure, but is that
Right,
the
right.
Yes,
implication?
but when
is
I
that it's
approach, hold
holstered?
on.
Right.
Oh, so see, this is where the 2v1. Did you notice how Tom Fillery's like, yeah, but is that the implication that it's holstered? Yeah, there is no implication. It's just saying he approached with the gun. That's it, which is true. He did approach with the gun. There is no implication. You know what I mean? Like, there is no implication with that. But Tom Fillery's like, well, isn't that the implication? No, Wick is making a claim. Wick is actually making a claim that they're saying he brandished a gun, but it doesn't say that anywhere in this tweet. By the way, this is the tweet that Wick brought up himself. Nowhere does it say he was brandishing the gun. Just says that he walked up and he had a gun on him. Okay, there is no implication. By that logic, then, Wick is The implication with Wick saying to obstruct eyes is violence then.
Well,
Oh
this may
shit! Now
help.
you're
When I
stretching limits of
approach
credulity
someone,
here.
I'm technically
is crazy,
approaching them
Wick.
with my dick. But if I told them I'm approaching this person with my dick, it puts a whole different
How would
spin
they
on it.
still be
while
lying?
technically
Is
true,
your dick not
is
attached to your
dishonest
body?
and deceptive
Yeah.
in,
Yeah, how is that deceptive though? Yeah,
in
exactly.
what actually happened.
How would they still be lying if you approached with it on your person? Would they still be lying? No, they wouldn't
I just explained it. If I say that I approached that, if I say that Tom approached that woman with his dick,
Hold
and
on.
we look at the
So
video, and his
if
dick
I
is in his
approach
hand,
somebody with a
I'm
knife
technically
holstered,
correct, but
would
it is
that
a
still be
deceptive
approaching somebody
way
with a
of
knife
speaking.
holstered? If I have a
Can you
If
weapon
answer
they
my
said
on my
holstered, I
person,
think that is the disagreement, Marte, is that they didn't say holstered, and you're
they
including
don't
the term
have to say it's
holstered. in your
Yeah.
holstered to
statement.
say that there was a weapon present on the person. It was on his person as he approached the volatile situation
Okay,
that
Wick,
he
was there
inserted himself in.
Wick, was
Yes.
there a
The next
second
Yeah,
part?
line
or
that
is
that doesn't
another
allude
lie.
to any lies that
Okay,
they're making.
so the very next line says, the officer attempted to disarm the suspect, but the armed suspect violently resisted. More
Yeah.
details on the armed struggle are forthcoming.
We couldn't get his
Yes.
hands under
Nowhere
control.
in that video did he
That's
violently
resisting
resist.
arrest,
He never
yes.
Yeah, he
struck
did.
violently at any of the officers in any of that footage.
So if I spit on an
Do I
officer, is that
need
still
anything
assault?
else in this, Wick?
Yes, almost every single line is a lie. They're
No,
all
it's not.
lies.
You
What?
can't-
No, it's
you haven't
not. Yeah,
demonstrated-
yeah, it's not a lie. Like, where is the lie? You can talk about implications all you want, but technically there's no lie here, and he can't demonstrate that.
where the lie is. I'm still waiting for that. Wait,
Yes,
if I
that
spit
is a
on an
lie.
officer,
Can you show me where he violently resisted?
if
the
I
officers
spit
during
on
the
it, hold
altercation?
on. Do you understand that these circumstances could be written in paperwork like this? And I'll give you an example. If I spit on an officer, would I get charged with assault?
Did Alex Preddy spit on the officer?
Hold on. Can you answer the question? I'm just asking a
I'm-
simple question.
It's non-responsive,
It-
and it doesn't have anything to do with.
It
what we're
does have a
talking
lot
about.
to, and I'll show you why it
Again,
has a lot
Did
to do
Alex
with this.
Preddy spit on those officers?
If
Did
no,
he
hold on. Can you
violently
answer
resist?
Can you answer the question straight up? If I spit on
Yeah,
an
Wick,
officer, will I get
he's
charged
trying
with
to
assault?
build a case. If you'll
Yeah,
answer
he
that.
Say
doesn't
one more
want to
time.
entertain with this. Please be good
Oh wow, tomfoolery actually coming down. There's one for Wick.
faith here, Wick.
His question is, if Alex Preddy had spit on an officer, would that be
A
would
violent
that,
resistance? No.
call for
No, you're
would that
framing
call
this
for
differently.
charges of
Can you
assault?
be straight up and answer the question? Would
Sure,
that
it
still
could
be assault?
You could say it's
Just say yes, Wick.
assault, but you never.
Like Wick, you could grant him this. Like, if it really has nothing to do with anything, then you could grant him this. Like, what would and you could still be right. So just grant it to him.
say it's violent.
Right. Okay. Now follow this logic real quick. So if I had told somebody that I got assaulted on duty, how would that sound to somebody if I don't add the context?
Good thing Wick Moto's here. We need a based Wick in chat in order to counteract the soy boy Wick right here.
I was still assaulted and I charged somebody with assault. Granted, and I got spat on, but I charged somebody with assault. I just didn't tell
if
him I
you
got
told me
spat
that you
on.
got
Is
assaulted
that
on
still
duty and I
accurate?
found out you just got spit on. I would
Hold
think
on,
that you were being
that
a little
is that
dishonest
wait,
with
wait.
me. Yes.
On paperwork, is that still
on,
accurate
I'm
that an
answering
officer
you.
got assaulted?
Okay, but again, let's
Oh
go
wait,
back to
hold
the
on.
point
No,
at hand.
hold on.
Did Alex Preddy violently resist?
No, hold on.
Violently
So
resist.
it would follow.
Well, yes. Yes, because violently, like they had to use force in order to get him like that's like that's tough because what's legally like defining violence, right? But the armed suspect violently resisted. I mean, like he was resisting for like using force and such, like he wasn't allowing them. It wasn't like he went peacefully. And if you don't go peacefully, does that mean you went violently? I think that's a good question to ask.
Follow the logic. If he's resisting and we can't get control over his hands and he has a weapon, is that not a volatile, violent situation?
It's not him violently resisting.
It is so if I have a weapon
The
and I'm
violent is a
resisting,
violent situation because
hold on,
the
no,
cops
no,
are being
hold on.
violent
We're
to
getting into
him.
semantics here, and I love this.
I'm
but if
not
you-
getting into semantics.
if
This
you
is a
have
direct
a
claim.
weapon,
You're trying
hold
to
on,
play these
Wick.
fucky wucky
If you
word
have a
games,
weapon,
but it's not working.
No, it is
Hold on.
working.
Everyone can see. Hold
If
on,
I
do you
have a
understand how
knife
every
and I'm
single
resisting,
person in
that's
my chat,
violent. If I
in
have a
Tom's
gun and I'm
chat, in your
resisting, that's
chat,
violent.
can see that you are lying right now. You are
No,
being
I'm not
dishonest.
lying. I'm going through
Okay,
a
hold on,
trail
hold
of
on.
logic.
Being dishonest by
Hold on,
refusing
hold
to
on, hold on,
engage.
hold on.
What you just said doesn't make any fucking
he
sense.
is making a semantic point over like what these terms mean. So he is talking about semantics. Marte. So what is your point here as far as the
My
violence
point-
goes? Violent resisting.
So if you spit on an officer, that would still be assault, even though if we look on its face, it would be appropriate to say that I was assaulted. Now, it may sound like I would say hyperbolic to tell somebody that, but I don't give them the context of this. I still charge somebody with assault, and it sounds very violent. Now, if I say that the person was violently resisting and it's violent, anybody that has a weapon, whether it be a knife, a gun, a bat, or anything else, and they're resisting, it amps up the propensity for danger. That's violent. It wouldn't be as violent, right? Would you say that it's way more violent
Hold on.
if somebody has a weapon in resisting than non-armed in resisting?
No. it
Wait,
would
hold on.
not be
So
more
it's not more
violent.
dangerous to
If you
arrest
don't
somebody
use
with a
the
weapon.
it is not more violent.
It is more violent if they have a weapon
No,
that
it
can
is
kill
not.
you and you're arresting them. That's
If you
the
are
dumbest
using
shit.
a weapon,
Wick,
it is more violent.
Wick, I know
but
you're
if
not
you
this
don't
stupid.
use a weapon,
If
it
you
is
have
not.
if you have a life-ending weapon nomenclature, a gun on you, and you're resisting, you just made the situation more violent. The fact that you're not admitting this is crazy and asinine.
Of course you haven't. Why
This
would
isn't.
you?
This blows my mind, Wick, that you're not even admitting this. This is complete denial on your
So
part.
you think that simply having a gun on someone's person necessarily means whatever you
While
are doing
resisting
is
is
more
violent, yes.
because you have that gun on them.
Yes,
so if
that's
I walk
violent.
into
Yes,
a
it is.
restroom, have I done that violently because I had a gun on me?
If anywhere where you
Is it
have a
more
weapon,
violent?
do you have a CCW?
If I go into a
Wick?
grocery store or a 7-Eleven or up to a person, am I now more violent simply because I have a gun on my person, whether or not?
Well, I would argue that if you're having, so like, let's say your officers are trying to arrest you and you're resisting arrest and you have a gun on you, the fact that you have the weapon on you, the gun on you does, it does increase the chances, does it not, that if you feel threatened by these officers that you're going to use that gun, right? So let's say you're being arrested and you're resisting the arrest, right? He didn't go peacefully. We could argue that Preddy did not go peacefully. And so they're trying to use force to arrest him. But the fact that he has a gun, that does take it up a notch, because at any point, if Alex Preddy feels like, okay, I'm being assaulted here or whatnot, and he decides to grab for that gun, that will basically, at any point, he could reach for that gun and escalate it at any time. Thank you very much, Keith, for $2. Wick talks like he's reading for an audiobook. Yeah, he really does.
They know
Yes,
I do.
you are. If there's a physical
That is
altercation,
insane.
that
is an
situation is
insane
more.
thing.
Yeah, no, exactly. The officer does not know if you're going to use that gun or not, so he has to protect himself. Yeah, no, exactly. So that's what it means by, it's like, well, if you have it on your person, it automatically means that the officers are automatically going to be on the defensive.
Violence because of that. Yes, it is.
That is an insane thing to say.
So hold on.
And it's
If you
crazy,
Wick, I'll ask you a
how
question.
You're simply trying to spin this.
Wick, no, I'm not
into
spinning this.
anything
This
other
is
than
what
it
this
was.
is claim.
We
That
can see
is
the
what
video.
happened. Wick,
Alex Preddy
do you
never
have a
violently
CCW?
resisted.
Do you have a
Do I what?
CCW?
A concealed carry?
Yeah.
Weapon? No.
Okay, when you get a CCW, they tell you that whenever you insert yourself into a situation, you need to act differently because it's perceived more violent. That's anybody that's a weapons holder, that's a concealed weapons holder. They'll tell you, matter of fact, the two weapons that Alex Preddy didn't utilize were his 2 feet, and he could have walked away. He didn't do that, thus making the situation more volatile and violent. The fact that you're disagreeing with this and
Well, I
denying
just want to
reality
clarify, Marte.
is insane.
Well, I do want to clarify, Marte. I've heard two separate arguments real quick, and I want to know which one it is that we're making. One of them was that this is more violent. The other one is that there would be the perception of violence. Obviously, the term violence means that you're using use of force to harm somebody, whereas like a gun could be like a perception of violence, whereas just having a gun wouldn't actually be use of force to harm somebody. Well, if you want to give a different definition, I would like to hear it, but I would assume that that's the definition that most people are are using.
So what's your so Wick, I'll ask you, what's your definition of violence? Because we can look up that definition if you want to get into semantics right now.
Violence, the use of physical force to hurt, harm, or attempt to hurt or harm someone or something.
Oh, okay. So if he has if he's resisting arrest with the intent to evade arrest or to evade apprehension, that's pretty violent. If you're resisting, is it not? That's an act of violence, right?
No, not unless you use physical force in an attempt to harm or hurt someone or something.
The intent. So hold on, that doesn't make any
You
sense.
asked for my definition of violence. That's my definition of violence.
Can violence be used
on Alex Preddy's part during this altercation?
If you look at the secondary definition, it says strength of emotion or an unpleasant, destructive natural force. This could be a behavior where you.
Hold on, let me get it straight. If I yell at you, do you consider that me being violent with you? So if I'm
we're talking about physicality
cops,
here, Wick,
and I yell at those cops, am I violently resisting?
Well, no. Wait, just to be.
Well, yeah, well, that's not what happened though.
Be clear. Wait, Marte. The definition that you just gave was not about physicality. It was about emotions. You were talking about violent emotions.
No,
that
hold
was
on,
the second
real quick,
definition
because
that you
if
just read.
you're
That was about
physical,
emotions. If you want to read it again,
we can go back to the physical.
Your mic
thing
is
real
out
quick.
again.
Can you hear me now? A little bit.
That's weird because I was like, that's weird because I could hear him. We could hear him.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so back to this. Was he physically resisting arrest because we couldn't get a hold of his hands?
Or are we
No,
talking
he's
about
not physically
resisting arrest or
resisting
violence?
arrest.
That is an act of violence. Now that if you have a gun, there's more potential there. So that's pretty violent now.
It's because logically, if you're not going peacefully, the assumption is that you're going to do whatever you can to resist arrest. And so why wouldn't it be that you could also use violence and you have a gun on you? I think that's the logical assumption there. That if you're resisting arrest, it's clear, and then there's a bunch of officers trying to arrest you, it's clear that you're going to do whatever you can to try to get out of that situation. You do not want to be detained. It's reasonable right there, right? A human being that's going in there to agitate but doesn't want to face the consequences of his actions. There is a reasonable belief that that individual could use the weapon.
Okay.
Well, that's Marte. That's what I brought up just a little bit ago. Is that the definitions that you gave or the arguments that you gave? One was about whether or not it is violent. The other one was about whether or not there is a potential for violence.
That's
what I was
pretty
asking
violent.
you to clarify, because it knows.
So if I have a kid,
okay, so real quick,
and I yank their hand really quick, is that violent?
Hold on, Marte. Hold on.
See?
The reason that we're getting stuck here is because the definition that Wick, you asked him for a definition earlier. You didn't seem to disagree with his definition. He gave a definition that included like a use of force to harm somebody. Now, the definition that you gave was about emotions. You didn't go back to that.
No. I can stay on the initial definition.
We would have to have some use of. Okay, so we would have to have like a use of. That's fine. So I'm saying that in this scenario, in order for us to say that there's not just a potential of violence, but that there is violence, we would have to know where the use of force was to harm somebody.
Let's clear this up. So I'll even ask you a question, Wick. Can I violently yank my hand away from you if you're trying to drag me somewhere? Is that a violent act of violently yanking my hand away? Can I say that? And would that be inaccurate for me to say?
To violently yank your hand away if I'm trying to drag you.
Yeah. Would that be inaccurate to say
that
this?
implies when you do that.
Okay, so an act of non-compliance and refusing directives, that would be, you can use an act of violence without intentionally wanting to harm somebody.
He did not do that.
He did do that
during this altercation.
He did do that. So you just proved to me.
Can you show me on the video where you consider? Hold on.
Where so you just demonstrated that you don't have to have intention to hurt somebody to be violent.
Just show me on the video. Bring it up. There's plenty there, right? Maybe Tom can bring it up, but show me in the video.
They argue that Renée Good didn't have the intention of hitting the cop. However, that was still violence, wasn't it? Even though she didn't intend to hit the cop, she still hit him, and she still put his life in danger.
Where you think he violently resisted arrest?
There's no time.
Okay,
if I tell somebody, hey, I need you to lay down and comply with orders, and you're doing everything but doing that, And in the process, we're trying to actually create more officer safety by involving more bodies and resources on the scene. And you're still not actively complying and laying down, putting your hands behind your head or anything like that on the video. Guess what? And you have a gun, that creates a more volatile, violent situation. I would call that a
Okay,
violent
but the
arrest.
cops never did that.
I would,
The ICE agents, the
did you
Border
have the
Patrol agents,
audio?
they
Do you have
never
the
did
audio
that
on
during
this?
this altercation.
So if you're saying this, you must have heard the audio.
Did you?
No, you're the one making the assumption that you may have heard the audio on this.
You were saying that
You're saying he didn't do
under
this.
the
Can you prove that he
impression
didn't
that
do that?
he
By the way, like the way that Alex Preddy, like if you watch the video, he starts grabbing the lady next to him, like the lady gets pushed to the floor, right? And so he starts picking up the woman, right? And I mean, I would assume he's trying to help her up, but the way he does it, it's so weird. Like it looks like he's trying to like assault her pretty much. That's what it looks like. I'm not saying he intended to do that, but that's what it looks like. So wouldn't it be reasonable that this guy is like a physical threat right here? Like, let me bring up the video. All right, let me do a deeper search here. All right.
Sidewalk, because that's where they want her. Alex Preddy jumps in the middle of it, which he doesn't need to do. And now he's dragging the lady back out onto the street, which is not where the off.
Yeah, see how like Alex Preddy right here is like picking her up. Like it's one thing trying to shield her. Like it's one thing to shield her, or usually if you're trying to help someone back up, you usually kind of try to grab them by the arm or something. But the way he's doing it is so weird.
Back out onto the street, which is not where
he's like, it looks like he's grabbing her by the neck, and it's like, does he even know what he's doing? Like, what's going on here?
the officers want her. He could have stayed with her.
See how he's like dragging her? Like, why is he doing that?
On the sidewalk, but no, he wants to get into the middle of it and start.
So they're trying to subdue him, right?
Fighting with them. Now they have him on the ground and he's resisting. He's not giving his arms, he's not giving his legs, he's not laying out flat so they can arrest him.
See, look how this other person's helping up this lady. Like that's how trying to help someone up, not the way he was doing it.
He's not giving his arms, he's not giving his legs, he's not laying out flat so they can arrest him. And now they're saying gun, 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 and he gets shot because he didn't tell them that he has a gun on him. Okay? Again, doesn't need to get into the middle of it. He can just go on to the sidewalk and help the lady, but no, he wants to get in the middle of it. He wants to drag the lady back out onto the street, going against the officer's wishes. And now he is not complying with the officers. He's fighting with them. He's wrestling with them. He's struggling with them.
And see, look, we could all see like what's going on here. But like, again, we have to like bring ourselves down to like this retarded level. That's like, we have to get on the retard level of the left here and like be like, oh, see, look, there's nuance here.
And he has a gun on him. And they don't know that because he didn't tell them that. So what kind of person struggles with cops, physically gets into an altercation?
By the way, if you see right here, it looks like he could have gotten up right here. And it's like, who knows what he would have done? He could have gotten up easily, grabbed his gun and shot him.
Person struggles with cops.
Like, see, like, so the other person here's gun. And then look, he stands up.
Gets into an altercation with a gun on them without informing the police officers. So this guy is creating a fog of war situation where the officers have a split second to decide what to do.
Yes, exactly. A split fucking second to decide what's going to happen or what to do. Okay, again, it's easy for us to sit here and do the play-by-play, frame by frame, and be like, well, in this frame right here, in this moment, this is what this guy should have done, and that guy should have done. And then in this very next second right here, this is what this guy should, it's very easy for us. But these people at this moment, everyone in this situation right here, by the way, not just Preddy, not just the officers, everybody, they don't have this luxury here. They don't have this luxury. Okay, so shit happens. Same thing with the Renée Good thing. Okay, we could sit here and be like, well, the officer shouldn't have stood in front of the car. I could make the argument she should have been there in the first place. I could make the argument that this guy shouldn't have been there in the first place. It's not like the left are trying to paint it out as it's tyrannical because Orange Man Bad is the head of ICE now. He's the one that's president. So now ICE bad. But ICE isn't doing anything tyrannical or anything like that. They're not overreaching. There's nothing. They're trying to enforce laws. And now on top of that, trying to already have to do their job, they have to worry about retards like this interfering because, I got to help the freaking brown people. By the way, thank you very much, Rundar the First, for becoming a new member, brother. Hell yeah, thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Remember, for $4.99 a month, you get access to the past live streams. I shout you out when I see you in the chat, and you get access to custom emojis. And also, let's see if we can get some more super chats, guys.
Do when officers say, gun, 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 this guy has a gun. Unfortunately, the officer that shot Alex Pretty did not see that the other officer had taken the gun out of Alex Pretty's waistband.
Exactly.
But the officers don't know how many weapons he has, and it only takes a split second to draw a firearm and pull the trigger. Because Alex Pretty is resisting, it is difficult for the officers to see his hands, to know what is...
See, like, what the hell is he doing with this woman right here? I was taught when you have a firearm and are confronted by police for whatever reason, let them know you are armed ASAP. Yeah, same. Pretty already had violent altercations with ICE before this happened, kicking the taillight off the vehicle. Yeah, exactly. And they'll be like, well, that has nothing to do with this. It's not like these officers knew about that. Well, yeah, probably they didn't. But still, like, that shows that he's not some innocent person that is just coming on being a peaceful protester, exercising his First Amendment right. What that does show is that he is a agitator. He has capability of violence. And so who knows what even happened before this video and how he was acting? Because the thing is, we don't even know. The flip side is that in some cases, Leos very much exceed authority into tyranny and violating rights. And in some cases, local laws enable it. I don't think that's the case here. Yeah, that's the thing, too. People will say, oh, well, cops never do anything wrong. No. Cops can abuse their power. Don't get me wrong. I've seen videos of wrongful shootings, or at least videos that I thought the cop was a little too trigger happy. So, no, it's not that, cops are always justified or always in the right. I just think in these two instances, I think it was a justified shooting. I don't think it was something where they were over abusing their power or were being trigger happy. Being Hispanic myself, as a brown person, I don't need the help of incompetent people. Yeah. If the left ever gets to power again, they will lock us up and kill us without any mention of it being wrong. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, these same people that are like about overstepping, none of them defend Ashley Babbitt, and they still have no defense of Ashley Babbitt other than, well, she did it for bad reasons. Ashley Babbitt bad because she did it for reasons I disagree with. Alex Pretty is a victim because he did it for reasons that I do agree with. That's all it boils down to. Oh, when it happens to Ashley Babbitt, well, she was in the wrong because I don't agree with why she did it. I don't think the election was stolen, and I don't like Trump. So therefore, she deserved it. Meanwhile, Alex Pretty was just fighting the Gestapo. I agree with the reasons he did it. Therefore, he's a victim. That's the argument the left makes. He was helping a woman. Yeah, but look at how he was helping her. Like he was like dragging her. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
It is difficult for the officers to see his hands, to know what his intentions are, to see what he is doing. And now you will see how the Democrats will go to any lengths to gaslight you into believing that he is just a sweet, innocent, nice guy that just wanted to protect people and didn't want to have any confrontation with the police. In the next video, you will see Alex Pretty 11 days before he got shot. What was he doing?
Caring for people was at the core of who he was. He was incapable of causing harm. Alex carried patience, compassion, and calm as a steady light within him. Even at the very end, that light was there. I recognized
that light was there and he kicked it out.
His familiar stillness and signature calm composure.
So now we can see Renée Good, and I will play the audio in a moment where you can clearly hear the officer telling her to get out of the car three times.
Yeah, get out of the car 3 times. And she's trying to evade arrest.
To get out of the car.
And they all ignore. Look at where her car was. Everyone's saying she wasn't obstructing. She was right in the fucking dead center of the middle of the fucking road. Even if they could still drive by her, even if they could technically drive around her, her goal was to obstruct. That's why she's perfectly in the middle here. She's not legally allowed to park here. You can't park there, ma'am.
In a moment where you can clearly hear the officer telling her to get out of.
So look, she's trying to evade. He pulls out the gun. She could have stopped
The car 3 times.
but said she drove, and look, he was still in front of the car, barely getting out of the way. And by the way, he was still hit.
She looks at the officer, but decides to take off instead.
See? This viewpoint right here.
Officer, but decides to take off instead, striking another officer. What kind of frame of mind do you have to do that? And as she attempts to take off, you can hear her girlfriend partner saying, "Drive, drive, drive." They had been harassing and following the agents all morning, impeding, blocking traffic.
Yeah.
What kind of person does this? And the officer that she hit with the corner of her car had internal bleeding.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad.
Yeah, and what's funny is too is like she clearly was being facetious when she said that. It's fine, dude. I'm not mad. Like she was being passive aggressive. It's not like she meant that. Like, hey man, listen, I'm not even like, what would she even be mad about? She's the one obstructing the road. So anyway, but she goes, I ain't mad, but the left will try to use this as like, oh look, she's saying that she came peacefully. She told him she's not even mad at him. And it's like, you assholes know that she wasn't being fucking serious. That's how we all know you're full of shit. Thank you very much, Fuck Sims, for $5. Keep up the great work, Vic. Not one step back. Hell yeah, brother. Not one step back. Thank you very much for the $5 and for your support.
That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come to.
And again, look, the freaking partner right here is already being aggressive, talking shit to the officer.
Talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former.
Like, with all of this lead up, why wouldn't they believe that they were going to be hostile toward, like, they're already showing hostility toward the officers. So why does this guy have no reason to believe that she was going to hit him with the car?
You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
And drive, baby, drive.
Oh.
See, like, we all saw this footage. Like, what's nuanced about it?
Out of the car.
Like, what's nuanced about this? Why do we have to have these freaking why do we have to have these conversations as if like, oh yeah,
Passion.
like, there's so much nuance here and we have to have a debate about this if it's justified? Like, dude, like at least the Alex Preddy, it is like a little messy, but the Renee Good is like pretty clear. Don't start none, won't be none. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, why would he care if she's mad? What does that even mean? Yeah, exactly. What does that even mean? Levi Salone lives. Yeah, exactly.
I never hear a single time them ordering him down. In fact, they drag him back after they pepper spray him. When he gets pepper sprayed, he tries to help the lady up. They drag him.
No, he didn't try to
back.
help the lady up.
He absolutely bring up the video.
No, she stood up.
Can you bring up the video?
What happened was she stood up.
Yeah,
she
I
was
got it right.
already up already. He put his arm around
The
her.
woman was on the ground when that was a different woman. He's talking
Yeah, just
about
show the video.
other
We
woman
don't
that
have
they
to.
pepper
We don't have
sprayed.
to guess here. We can just watch.
So they're talking about this woman that he shoved to the ground. He's
Yes.
saying right
He gets
here,
pepper sprayed
this
here.
is where he goes to help her up.
Yeah, so since it's hard to see on his version.
Love it. He can
So look, he gets pepper sprayed, right?
just go on to the sidewalk
And so then he starts.
and help,
Yeah, this woman's already halfway up.
help the lady, but no, he wants to get in the middle of it. He wants.
And then like he's falling on her and stuff.
onto the sidewalk and help the lady, but no, he wants to get in the middle of it. He wants to drag
So she's down, but
the
look,
lady back out onto
see, the thing is like, you're like, well, he's trying to help her up, which maybe I was going to assume that was his intention to help her up, but the way he's doing it, it's
the
like he's
street going
dragging her.
against the officer's wishes.
Like, look at how he's dragging her by like the neck right here. It wasn't just like, oh, he was trying to just valiantly, like, even if he like was trying to, that's not what he did. He knocked back over. Yeah. Yeah, he thinks she's ice. He's lashing out at her. See, that's the thing too. It's like, that's probably what could be going on too, is that like he thinks that she's ice. Comes off like a threat, honestly. Yeah.
Her up.
He grabs her, then they grab him off and drag him off,
Yeah.
and then throw him to the ground, and then
No, he
beat
wasn't
him.
thrown to the ground. He was placed on the ground.
Yeah.
Replay it, show it.
Yeah, he was placed.
Where's the throw? I'm waiting for the throw.
Right
Where's the
there.
throw? Oh, he wasn't thrown on the ground.
He was thrown to the ground.
No, he was
forced
gently escorted
down,
to the ground. You can see it
beaten,
right
and
now.
then
Stop the
shot.
cap.
Stop the cat.
I don't see any hip tosses. I don't see any
Yeah.
tossing.
Yeah, got to grab him.
There,
And then look.
nobody was thrown.
Darn
Stop.
fine,
You're
man.
lying to us in front of everybody, Wick.
Stupid Wick.
You were saying that he wasn't thrown to the
Wait,
ground.
where's the throw then? I'm waiting for the throw. Where's it at? He got pulled. Where's the throw?
What a dumbass.
Okay, lying in 4K now. Now we can continue. Wick,
Am I
this is
lying
ridiculous.
here? Is this a lie when I say he was thrown on the ground?
What a jackass. Is this a lie right here? Is this a lie right here? Yes. We are all looking at it right now. Just take the L.
He wasn't
He was
thrown.
forced down. He was.
Oh,
beaten,
he was. Oh, hold
and
on.
then he
So
was
for,
shot.
now it's forced. It's not thrown anymore.
He was thrown to the ground, forced down.
He
This all
wasn't
happened.
thrown to the
Thrown
ground.
to the
We
ground,
can-
forced down.
Wick, you have
beaten,
two
and then
eyeballs. I know your
shot.
glasses are.
So now he's interchangeably using throw down and force down interchangeably. Yeah, no. You're wrong. He wasn't thrown down. He was forced down. And so now you have to backtrack because you're a fucking idiot.
They must work, right? Hopefully, he wasn't thrown.
Okay, so real
was
quick, I'm not
absolute-
sure what the disagreement on whether or not he was thrown is for. I don't know if
I don't
this matters
understand
to
either.
And if
the-
it takes three
to the argument
officers
much,
to
but-
detain this,
Yeah, see now Tom Fuller trying to sweep for Wick. It's because Wick tried to lie, and Wick is not. See, Tom Fuller, if he was really unbiased and wanted to involve himself this much, he could have been like, okay, well, Wick, listen, you were wrong about that. You said he was thrown, he wasn't thrown, so let's move on. Like, that's what an unbiased mod would have done. But Tom Foolery, because he's on Wick's side here, has to be like, well, I don't see why we're arguing about whether he was thrown or can we just, I don't see the point. It's because Wick brought it up. Wick made the claim he was thrown, and it was debunked right before our eyes. So now Wick can't just take the L and move on. And an unbiased moderator would have just been like, okay, well, Wick, you were wrong about that. Okay. But no, this is not an unbiased. So now he's like, okay, well, listen, I don't see what the point of it is. Even though Wick's the one that made the claim.
guy and get his hands under control. Guess what? If he has a gun, that makes it a more volatile, violent situation.
But he is not doing the violence. They are doing the violence to him.
No. We're trying to get him under control.
Just show the whole thing
guy-
until the
No.
shooting part. Don't show the
So,
shooting part. But
You're making this sound like as if Preddy was
tell
the
me where
authority
he's
here. He
violent
wasn't.
here.
Preddy is not the authority here. There's a hierarchy. There's an active investigation. We're not going to kowtow and bow down to Preddy when he's the person that's in the way obstructing justice. That's crazy and asinine to
The-
even say.
The whole point of why we're doing this is because my claim is that the DHS lied when they said that he violently resisted.
Hold on.
And I want you to show me in the video.
You can't even show
where
me
it
he was
is that you
thrown.
think he was violent.
He wasn't even thrown. So you lied about that and you're accusing DHS to lie.
I'm going to ask you
about
again.
lying.
Show me in the video where you think Alex Preddy was violently resisting arrest.
If
When
we're-
he refused to go peacefully. When he didn't go peacefully, didn't give him his arms, didn't want to comply, that was him violently resisting arrest.
pulling him and he's resisting, in not complying with officer, he knew. Did he not know that these were agents he was dealing
Wait,
with?
Marte, hold on,
See?
Marte. The claim is that he is resisting.
See Wick. Did you see Wick breathe a sigh of relief? He's like, thank God I called that guy. Like, look at him with this sigh of relief right here. Look, look at Wick.
He knew. Did he not know that these were agents he was dealing
Wait,
with?
Marte, hold on, Marte. The claim is that he is resisting.
See that big sigh of relief right there? He's like, oh, good thing I called that guy. Good thing I got Tom here to back me up on this and constantly get on Marte's ass and not mine. Even though I made a claim just a little while ago and Tom didn't bother calling me out on that I was wrong on that claim. Instead, he just glossed over it. I'm so glad Tom is the moderator here.
He's asking where he is resisting. And then you said, if he is resisting, then XYZ. He wants to know where in the video that he's resisting. So
Not just resisting.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
rewind
I
a
agree.
little bit.
Resisting, just to be clear.
Okay, so violent real. So I'll play again and then Marte, tell me when to pause. Okay.
Yeah, right there, automatically. The guy put himself in a situation, and we have to pull him back. The guy obviously
Where is
tried
he
to.
resisting?
If
Where is
he's
he
holding
resisting
onto her
arrest is the
jacket, and we had to
question.
pull her
Where is he resisting arrest? Right there. Right there. Dummy.
off, there's resistance there. Matter of fact, the meaning of resistance is the refusal to accept or comply with something, the attempt to prevent something by action or argument. Was that not what he was doing? I see that right there before my very eyes.
He was not.
He was. Hold on. If you rewind the tape, he's pulling on her jacket as they're
Rewind the
pulling
tape,
him.
let him watch.
Does that not create resistance? Oh, still holding on her. Oh, we have to separate his arm from her jacket. That's resistance. Oh,
That
shit.
is not violently resisting arrest.
That is violently
Hold on, just
resisting
to be clear, your
arrest.
claim here. Your claim here is that because he still had a hand on her jacket, that you consider that violently a resisting arrest.
Yeah, I think I would actually agree with you if he didn't holster a weapon during the time or have any weapons on him, for sure. But it definitely changes the case.
Hold on.
If we're
What
looking at
about
this,
him having a weapon makes his hand on her coat a violent resisting arrest, whereas if he didn't have a weapon,
he
it
had
would
a
not
weapon.
be a violently resisting
He had a
arrest.
weapon during this resistance. Did he have it holstered on him?
Yes, it's a holstered weapon.
Where
but
was
this
his other
time
hand?
it's
Was
still
it free to
holstered.
grab it at any time while he was resisting physically with the other hand?
Yes.
Oh,
What do you mean?
shit, Wick. This is bad.
Hold on. What do you think you just did there?
So when he was resisting being pulled by the ICE agents because he wouldn't comply, holding onto the jacket, his other
Yeah, he's showing that while resisting arrest, while resisting arrest, he had a free hand to easily grab his holstered gun at any point should he need to or want to. That's what Marte just proved right there. That by merely resisting arrest with a firearm on you, that immediately heightens the danger level. Think about it, Wick. Like, Wick, if you just got in a street fight with someone, let's say I don't think that would ever happen, but let's just say, again, imaginary world where Vic is in a bar and he gets in a fight with someone. Wouldn't he feel an extra sense of danger if he found out that guy was carrying a gun while doing it? It immediately heightens the violence right there, or at least the threat of violence.
hand was free while he had an active weapon. Do you think officers would approach you differently if you had a holstered weapon as opposed to if you were unarmed? Do you think that the
We
two
aren't
officers
talking about how the officers will react.
Hold
We're
on.
talking about whether or not that constitutes violent resist of arrest.
That's a violent resistance of arrest if you have a gun on you.
Okay.
We are going to perceive that as violent.
I'll just let the
as
audience
violence.
just watch it and they can decide for themselves.
Yeah,
whether or
they can
not
definitely decide
they
on this.
think
But I'm
that's a
telling you right
violent
now,
resisting of arrest. He is not harming anyone. He is not attempting.
I mean, sure, Keith, but the thing is that if you're resisting arrest, wouldn't the goal be to flee? Like, so if you're resisting arrest, what do you think's going to happen? You resist arrest, right? And then what, are you just going to stand there? I mean, by resisting arrest, doesn't that kind of imply that you're going to try to flee? Because you don't want to be arrested. That's the logic there. You don't want to be arrested. Therefore, you're going to do anything you can to not be arrested. And so, I I think by resisting, it kind of implies that you're going to try to flee. It's not like you're going to resist and then just stand there.
To harm anyone.
You've
He at
already
no point
conceded that
reaches
you don't
for
have to
his
harm
weapon.
somebody to be
At
violent.
no point does he harm any of these officers. All he is doing is trying to help a lady up. He gets dragged.
So hold on. When I give you a hypothetical
to the ground, thrown to the ground.
Hold on.
They sit on
Marte,
him.
let
They
him finish
defeat
real
him,
quick.
and they shoot him in the head.
Okay, so Marte,
for
I'm
the
gonna
back.
let
Might have
you
been the
give a final statement on this part of it, and then we'll go back
Oh,
to
me?
the tweet real quick. We do want to try to get through this
Sure.
tweet as quick as possible. So Marte, go ahead.
Yeah, so here's the thing though, is like if you have two suspects and an officer approaches, one's holstered, the other isn't, the report's going to look dramatically different during the arrest if somebody resists. We can definitely be justified to say that was a violent arrest because of the optics, perception, and because of the fact that there's increased danger in this volatility of this arrest, as opposed to like the other person was being arrested, and maybe if they were resisting, we could still put violent arrest because the fact that they were resisting, that's an act of violence. Matter of fact, if you're resisting and you're holding on a jacket, I violently pulled you away while you're violently opposing this. That's an act of violence in itself, definitionally. You don't, and matter of fact, you've already conceded the fact that you don't need to outwardly state that you're intentionally wanting to hurt somebody for anything to be violent. You've already.
I got arrested for resisting and got off because he couldn't show that I was attempting to flee. Technically, yes, that's crazy. That's crazy because, yeah, logically speaking, I mean, if you resist, the end goal is that you're gonna try to flee. You know, like again, what are you gonna do? Resist and then just stand there? You know, it doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. I don't make the law, so I'm not a law expert.
Conceded that already. Now, moving back to this, I'd love to see where DHS is lying about this on the tweet.
Okay, so so that was the one where it says the officers attempted to disarm the suspect, but the armed suspect violently resisted. More details on the armed struggle are forthcoming. Fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers, an agent fired defensive shots. Medics on scene immediately delivered medical aid to the subject, but was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect also had 2 magazines. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the defensive shots, there was nothing defensive.
Thank you very much, Nate, for the $5. Marte was arguing with Idiocracy. It has electrolytes. It's what plants crave. Yeah, no, exactly. That's the thing about these debates. Like I tried watching a little bit of Dave Alyssa's debate the other day on the ICE shootings, and it's frustrating listening to these people because, again, we all see what happened. We all think it's understandable, you know? The bottom line is you can't obstruct ICE officers when they're trying to carry out the law. And if you do and you resist arrests, you have to realize that there is a possibility you could get shot. Like you could. You can't just like act however you want to officers, and then we have to look to officers to be like to hold the utmost restraint, unless, especially with the left. Like I'll never forget with that. Remember the black girl? It was the 2 black girls fighting, and then a cop shows up because one of the family members called the police. The one black girl is in halfway about to stab the other girl, like she was in mid swing, and then the cop shot her right in time before she stabbed her. Everyone was coming down on the cop and was like, well, did you have to shoot her? The knife fights, that's just what people do sometimes. You never had a good knife fight? Like people defended that. Like that's a clear cut. Like, no, I mean, I think the force was necessary right there because an innocent was almost going to get stabbed. Okay, no one had a problem with it. Like, not the family. Of course, the family was relieved because their daughter or whomever was safe from getting stabbed. But you had these libtards still defending the person who got shot and coming down on the cops. Like, did you have to shoot her? Yes, she literally was about to stab the other girl. Like she was literally mid swing, and they still came down in it. So the thing is, it's like these libs. It's not about like, it's just really Orange Man bad and just whatever they're against at the moment. That's really all it is. They're not good faith. They're not about, well, we just want to make sure they're not tyrannical. Asshole. Like even when they justifiably use force, you still go, well, I don't know. They shouldn't have shot him. So it's like, well, if you can't even shoot a girl mid swing, when can you fucking shoot them? Like when? When's the scenario? To argue it's not legally classified as violent resisting because it's not violent to take a gun to the bathroom is fucking hilarious. Yeah, I know, right? Body cams ended BLM. Yeah. And now they don't want ICE officers. I'm down for ICE officers wearing body cams. I'm all for it. I want all ICE officers to wear body cams. That's what I want. But these lefties, they're not too excited about it because it's been showing that these people actually are violent. And most of the time, these shootings are justified. Most of the time. Infidel, 100% support that. They use whistles. We use sonic devices. Oh, yeah. That's simple Vic facts. Yeah, exactly. That is just part of their culture. 13-year-olds knife fighting. Yeah, there's some people that actually argued that. It's like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Libs think you have time to ask the perpetrator about their day when they have a weapon. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's like they really think that, like I said, we have the luxury of stopping this and going frame by frame and dissecting it to every single little detail. Everyone in there don't have that luxury. They don't. The officers in question, they don't have time to sit there and be like, well, wait a minute. Is Alex Preddy really going to shoot us? Is he actually reaching for his gun? Is he going to shoot us? Because if he had stood there and evaluated the situation, Alex Preddy, that gives him enough time to potentially take out his weapon and shoot them. Listen, officer, I appreciate you saving my daughter, but you shouldn't have dishonored her by injecting in her duel. You brought shame and dishonor to our family. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, they try to use hindsight to justify their outrage. Yeah, exactly.
About those shots, he was not threatening them in any way.
No, that's false.
Also a lie.
That's false. So if you have a first weapon, you would say a primary. Would it not be the case that there's probably a probability of a secondary?
There might be.
Right. Do you think officers have a safe assumption to make in a volatile arrest within seconds notice, or even having the perception of the officer, not the video, not 20/20 evidence, but in the heat of the moment, to assume if he's then reaching back, which he did on the video, he reached back, that he probably could have had a secondary. This couldn't even been a gun. This could have been a knife or anything else, that we would have been perceiving that because you have two magazines, there might have been a secondary.
So do you think that if an officer thinks that a suspect might have a weapon on him, that makes a shooting defensive in nature if they shoot? That all I have to do is I see a guy on the street, I think, oh, he probably has a gun, and I shoot him. Is that justified as a shooting?
So there's two statements you made right now. When you say probably, no, not probably. We already removed the gun off of him already. So that implies that there's probably possibility of a second demonstration.
Hold on. Why would that necessarily imply that?
Hold on. Okay, then we can address this real quick. The reason why is because you've already conceded right now that if somebody has a primary, they probably have a secondary. Now, moving on to my second example.
Concede that. You asked.
You already said that. You said most likely, yes.
Possible. Not that it is probable.
It's possible.
He said that it was
if
possible.
You're reaching, hold on. So I'm going to give you an example. If I'm at a convenience store and I have somebody detained and they're under arrest and I'm trying to apprehend them, which you don't need to be able to tell somebody, hey, you're under arrest. If there's a violent altercation, I can then grab them and try to cuff them up, especially if I have resources, which other officers at my disposal, and we're trying to take them and somebody reaches into their pocket. Am I going to wait for them to say, okay, let's see what it is before they pull it out?
If you
think that that's reasonable for police
they have
to do?
A gun, you should not shoot them.
No, that's not my question. If somebody is under arrest, let's make it general. I'll make it dumbed down for you. If somebody's under arrest and we say, hey, freeze, don't do anything, and you reach for your pocket, do you think we should wait to see what you produce to make sure it's a gun before we shoot?
I don't think that you should shoot until you see a weapon.
No, that's not how it works.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, that's not how it works because that's already too late. It's already too late. It just takes a second to pull the trigger. It's already too late by the time you realize, oh, yeah, that is a gun. You know what I mean? Like, it's too late by that. That's why it's important. That's why they immediately tell you, put your hands on your head or put your hands up. Because if you're like, oh, hold on, let me get my wallet real quick, or let me get my cell phone, or let me get this or whatever, you could easily be lying, pull out a gun and shoot. And it just takes like that. It just takes like that. It just takes a second. Thank you very much, Nate, for the $5. I say in bed, video drones, 6 per event to document. Thank you very much, Nate. And also, thank you very much, Keith, for the $2. Gotta bounce. Cool. Talk to you later. Yeah, thank you for stopping by, Keith. Always good to see you, brother. Wick never shot a gun before. Yeah, exactly. But I have used potions. Does that count? I have casted spells.
Would
You
have
do. I
so
told
many
you what I
dead
think you should do.
officers in this nation.
But
If
here,
you're like,
in
no, we
this
have to see
case,
if it's a gun before you
Freddie
shoot.
never reached for her gun. He never reached for a weapon.
He reached down across his back.
Yeah, you did.
It's
Show me that
on
in
the
the video?
video.
Yeah, show it to me. Show me the frame.
He does, but it's after he's already been shot.
Yes, people do this all the time
Okay.
in like a last-ditch
So,
effort. This happens
Hold
all
on,
the
hold on,
time.
hold on. So you're telling me that because after he was shot in the back, he reached towards his back, that justified him getting shot in the
Yeah.
back before.
No, I think because see, one of the officers took Preddy's gun out of his holster, and that's when Alex Preddy went and reached for it like that. Like he could have been reaching because he could have been like, "Hey, did they take my gun while he's fighting?" And he could have just been reaching like, "Hey, did they take it?" Like he could have been reaching for that. But bottom line is, when you're in that moment, the officers don't know that. Again, they don't have the luxury of pausing everything frame by frame and evaluating everything.
He reached there.
Do you know what panic fire is? Do you know what that is? If I get shot, I'm probably going to have pattern recognition and reach for the secondary sometimes if that's the case. This is a pattern behavior, especially with CCW holders.
So real quick,
often-
You got to
let me just
justify
play
that first
this.
shot.
Let me just play this real quick so I
Go
can
ahead.
show the audience what it is we're talking about.
See, that's where they're beating him, by the way. Yeah, and then they shoot and they kill him.
So
Yeah,
that's,
do you think-
that's where they start shooting the
There's another
part where
angle, though,
he
to this, where he reaches-
behind him.
Yeah, he reaches.
Yeah, the
There's
part
another
where he
angle.
reaches behind him is
So, Wick, we don't think that it's a
here.
good idea to approach law enforcement with a weapon, right? Do you think that that was a good
Why-
idea?
Hold on. What do you mean? I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that.
There's a lot. If you're
So-
going to
so
have
yeah,
a
so
weapon
it's-
and
Well, yeah, if you just walk up to an officer and you have like let's say you're just walking down the street and there's an officer just walking, patrolling or whatever, and you have like a concealed carry and you're just like, "Oh, hello, officer," or even just open carry. Like if you just have it on your holster and the officer sees it, you could say like, "Hello, officer," and not expect the officer to be like, "Hey, what the fuck, bro? Get down on the ground, put your hands up." But if you're resisting arrest, that's a little bit of a different fucking story.
You
certain
already
Hold on.
hear the
If I
first
have a
shot.
weapon
situation, that's
holstered on
bad.
me, and I don't,
Just
again,
real
I
quick,
don't draw it, I don't
this
reach
is
for it,
him reaching
there's nothing
behind
wrong.
himself, but this is after the first shot, as I said. So
Yes, I don't care what he did after he
Yeah.
shot.
right. So you don't care that if somebody's still alive and in last ditch effort, they're gonna think life preservation at the time and try to take one last shot.
Because he
this
got
is something that can happen
shot,
often.
and that shot before he reached anywhere was unjustified.
So if somebody got shot and they're still reaching, are you going to, so like I said, the same thing that you went ahead and conceded, are you still going to wait for them to pull it out to see what it is?
I
there's
wouldn't
a
have shot the guy in the
Marte,
first
there's a
place.
hold on, wait. We have like some wires crossed here. The thing that Wick is contesting is the very first shot. You're saying yes, after the first shot, he reaches behind him. So now they have justification to continue shooting. But he's contesting the very first shot that's before he reached behind him.
So when they yell gun, the weapon that he did have has been known to have misfires all the time. We can agree on this, right?
Not all the time, no.
No, it was so much that they discontinued this from the Air Force and other organizations as well too.
But his gun did not.
No, wait, hold on.
misfire.
Can you agree to that? The weapon misfired
it
so many
has,
times and had
it
so many
has some
weapons
reports of
malfunctions that they
misfires,
took it
sure,
off the
But
market.
you have to show me where his gun misfired.
There's still footage of this where the guy didn't have his finger on the trigger and it still went off.
Show me where that gun went off.
Are we
Yeah,
just
I'm
gonna
not sure
review
where
footage?
it
Okay,
goes off
we can
either.
do this. I don't care.
Well, I mean,
See, Tom Fuller, well, I'm not sure. See, Tom Fuller I'm not biased. I just so happen to always side with Wick on most of the times I interject. Most of it. It's not that I'm biased. It just so happens that Marte is just more wrong than Wick is. It's just not my fault.
from my understanding, the DHS hasn't
That
even
didn't
claimed
happen.
that the SIG went off.
This is why freaking Tom should just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up, Tom. Only talk when needed. Okay, you're not the third participant in this debate. Just shut the fuck up and only chime in when you can't understand what's going on or if they're getting too much in a circular argument. Just shut the fuck up. That's it. Just sit there, look bald, and shut the fuck up.
Hold on. Let me not hide the ball.
Yeah,
Let
the
me be
sig
very
did
clear.
go
Marte, you're
off.
fucking lying.
Yeah.
That never
Anyways,
happened, and you
Wick,
cannot
you've been
produce
lying.
evidence
You
of it
lied to me
happening.
twice already.
I've
You've
never
literally
lied to you
lied to me
once
on
during this
camera right now,
conversation.
Wick.
What? Yeah, you did.
You said the guy was
all
thrown
my
down and
statements
he
have been
wasn't
backed
thrown
up
at
by
all.
either video evidence or textual evidence. Every single one.
So Wick,
So
we
I'm
just
telling
saw
you right
video
now
evidence of the guy
that
not being
you
thrown, and
have
you're gonna assert
no
that he was
proof.
thrown.
See, now here's unbiased tomfoolery could have jumped in and been like, well, Wick, to be fair, you did say that he was thrown. He wasn't thrown, so you haven't been lieless. You know, if tomfoolery really wanted to interject so much, he could have been a little bit more unbiased, but clearly he's biased. Thank you very much, Nate, for the $5. Let me make this clear. I'm ultimately anti-government, but I put myself in each position and I would have fired. Pretty's POV and agent POV. Yeah, no, exactly. I think it's reasonable why they fired. Whether or not it was a mistake on their part, like they partly misunderstood what was happening, but I think it was pretty justified. I think they had a reasonable belief that Pretty was a threat. So yeah, thank you very much, Nate, for the $5, brother. This is why I contend easy is the bar currently for moderating these kinds of debates. Well, thanks, Kyle. What am I, chopped liver? I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, easy does good. Easy does good. Tomfoolery, no, not good. No bueno.
Which is false. You lied to
the
me in my
SIG
face.
that he used discharged accidentally. You have
Wick,
no proof of that.
Wick, I have proof of you
Okay, real
lying to
quick.
me in my face saying he was thrown and he wasn't thrown. But anyways, let's
He
continue.
was absolutely thrown to the ground.
So
and we
Okay,
no,
can
he
real quick,
wasn't thrown. That's bullshit. We saw this right now.
Yeah, see? Yeah, we just literally saw it, and he's still lying. Where's unbiased tomfoolery to call out, well, Wick, you know, you did lie about that. And like, no, he ain't. He ain't gonna call out Wick. Instead, he's just gonna move on. He's gonna move on.
Oh, you're gonna lie to
so
your
that I
audience and
can,
mine.
so that I hold on, so that I can X out of this. Wick, you had a second link as well. What was this?
I
one?
don't see
he
any
asked
lies
me
in
for-
this link, by the
This
way.
was a while ago. He asked me for proof. I said
This
that there's
isn't
over
proof,
1,000
Wick.
reports of
Not proof.
Hold on, Marte. Hold
credible
on,
reports of
Marte. Hold
human
on.
rights abuses in immigration detention facilities during the years since January 20th, 2025 to current day, right? There's over 1,000 reports. That's the report. It's a Senate report from a Senate hearing. Is that official enough for you? It represents a pattern of
Okay,
abuse.
I'm gonna.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna X out of
Hold on
the.
real
Hold
quick.
on, wait. Hold on. I'm gonna X out of the screen share. I sent the
Lex Luber. That's funny.
same thing to Marte. So Marte, if you want to look at that, you can. If you don't want to contend with this, that's fine. I did want to get to some different aspects of this, but yeah, Marte,
Sure.
do you
But
want
just
to
to kind of
contest with the
put a
John
bow,
Ossoff
if I
part?
may.
It's hold on real
Just-
quick.
just-
It's
Yeah, I just saw that Bandit. Yeah, R.I.P. James Vanderbeek. Breaking news: James Vanderbeek has just passed away at 48 years old. He was young. I don't know what he died of, but yeah, R.I.P. James Vanderbeek.
Oh, and all this.
because
I'll-
on
Well,
my
hold on.
screen-
Wait. Let me hear. Hold on. I want to. Marte, are you wanting to contest with this?
No, well, hold on. I will say this, and my chat can't even admit to this. On the chat, if you can see on the right side of my screen, does it say messages failed to load? I can't even bring up the information. Do you not see that right there?
Yeah,
So
we
on my
see it.
screen, I can't bring up the information that he presented. It's refusing to bring it up. I hit try again, and it's failing to load that information.
Okay.
Not lying. I'm
Um,
showing
I mean, you could
objective.
Look at the stupid smile on Wick's face, like, oh, Marte just being a disingenuous piece of shit. But yeah, we could literally all see it right here. Messages failed to load.
try on
evidence
your
on my
phone.
side.
I don't think you're lying on
We've
this.
seen your
Your
issues.
tech issues
Yeah,
have
if you have
been
your
evidence.
if you have your phone, you can. Do you have Discord on your phone?
No, I don't. I'd have to download it on my.
Oh, he died of colorectal cancer. That's sad. That sucks. Fuck cancer, am I right? First taking Brad Arnold of Three Doors Down, and now James Vanderbeek.
phone.
Okay.
You know what?
All right. Well, then hold on.
Well, the first point is well, the first
hold on,
point that we
wait,
had
hold
on
on,
X is
wait,
moot
hold on,
because
wait,
I didn't
wait.
see any lies.
Hold on.
that he can demonstrate.
Okay, so Wick, you said that you wanted to put a bow on this, and then we'll let Marte respond, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, go
Sure.
ahead.
I think it's pretty apparent from the from the video we saw and from the text of the DHS tweet that I provided that the DHS lied throughout that encounter and lied about what happened. All the statements I've made on this have been backed up by video footage, which we have reviewed, or by the text, which we have also reviewed. I've been able to show you. I've been able to provide this evidence. And when I ask for evidence in return, you fail to provide it. I asked for proof of the SIG going off and discharging accidentally. And what I would accept as proof is video evidence of it happening or a DHS report saying it happened. But you have failed to provide either of those things. You just
There is video proof of the discharge, though. They don't have the video evidence, but there is the video of the discharge. Let me see if I could find it real fast. I think I passed it. Yeah, right here. Here it is. So this is the officer after disarming Alex Preddy. He took his gun off of the holster. So this is the discharge right here. See? Right there. That's the gunshot. So obviously the officers, while they're trying to restrain Alex Preddy, you know, they hear gun and they hear the gunshot, so then they start shooting. So yeah, there you go. There you go, Wick. There you go, Victor.
just consistently
Wicklist?
lie. And this is a problem. And it's why it's hard to engage with you in good faith on these things because you'll just lie.
Okay, are you done?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
and then Marte, go ahead and wrap.
I'm going to
this part up.
respond real quick to these claims. So I've shown proof in the initial setup that we've had for this debate that
No,
I've had
you-
audio. Hold on. I never interrupted you. That I've had audio issues, video issues, and on my side, it's
People saying that looks like AI. Even okay, I could find another angle where I could find another angle that shows the discharge go off. Look. So look, this officer right here, this is the one that disarms him right here, the one I'm circling over with my cursor. See right here? He has the gun right there. You can't, okay, I guess you can't see it in that angle, but there is another angle. There's another angle that's not as high def that you could see it. This is it. Oh, I'm not showing it. Huh? I'm a retard. All right. All right. So look. All right, so right here where my cursor is at, that's the one that disarms him. So right there, that's when the first gunshot, and I think that's when this, I believe that's when the misfire goes off. Yeah, because see, the misfire goes off, it's like pam. And then that's when the other guy, I think that's when they think that Alex Preddy shot or something, and they shoot him in succession. See? Bam, and then there's a break, and then bam, bam, bam. Let me see if I could find another angle. That one doesn't have it. I know there's another angle where you could see like smoke coming out. I don't know. I could have sworn that I've seen another angle. Oh, maybe it's right here. I think this is it. Let's see if I could zoom in. Can I zoom in on this? Okay. So it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell from this because it. Am I able to zoom? All right, well, let's match this video up with the other video. Okay, so this is how he looks like right here when that first gunshot goes off. Let's match it up with the high def one. Yeah, maybe this is AI. So this is his position. He's like this. It's like a hatchet man. Oh, now I lost the fucking other video. Here we go. Okay, so it actually does look like it's the same. So yeah, that one I showed before, that high depth, it looks like it could be the same video because look, he's in the same position around when this first goes off. Yeah, now I can't zoom in. I can't really zoom in, and it's not really the highest quality of video. It does look the same, probably AI enhanced, yeah. How long until lawyers start using AI to create reasonable doubt for virtually all criminals? Yeah, exactly. Change the playback speed. I don't know if I can. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I can. All right. Oh, you could, yep, you could see it. You could see it go off right there. Yeah, you could see a little like light. Like a little flash. Right there. See? You can see a little flash if you go back a little bit. Thanks, Mr. Constantine. Bane was behind him. Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, seems legit. So it seems like when he disarmed him, the gun goes off. And so then the others shoot him because they think, oh crap. You know, it all happens so fast. It all happens so fast. And that's the thing. We all have the luxury to slow it down and watch it frame by frame. But these people don't. The dude being disarmed already is what makes this so gross. The fog of war aspect reminds me of when that female Leo shot the guy in his own apartment because she thought it was her place. Similar, yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm not saying it's not messy. The Alex Preddy, yeah, it's messy. But the question isn't like, the question was this justified? Like, do they have a reasonable belief at the time while this is all happening? Snaps. While this is all happening in the moment, do they have a reasonable belief that they were going to get shot? And I think while all the chaos was happening, they did. They did have a reasonable belief. It's that moment. I just think it's it's AI. The high quality erases the guy next to him, even with the altered angle. Well, listen, that was that debate. If you want to see the whole debate, Marte has it up on his channel. If you want to see Wick continue to get wrecked and Tom Fleury continue to be an unbiased mod. Again, it gets kind of worse. Like Tom Fleury at one point just doesn't shut up. Like I felt like he interjected as much as Wick. I felt like it was just as much as debate against Tom Fleury as it was against Wick. It was ridiculous. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Subscribe to my channel. It'll help me out a lot. If you want to see more Marte debates, I got a playlist for you I think you'll enjoy, as well as some other goodies that I think you'll enjoy. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, did you enjoy that video? I hope you did. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe, or else you're gay. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. I'm just trying to save you from sin. Also, make sure you catch the cool stream live Mondays through Fridays right here on my YouTube channel, and make sure you follow me at any of these links down below for everything Cool Vic.